Welcome to another preparation video, this time mostly talking about all the great opportunities for Gil-making that will accompany the launch of patch 5.4 on Tuesday. And as the servers are going into maintenance for a whole day on Monday morning, make sure to run through this to-do list now, it is the last chance. But one thing after another, and starting with the most simple thing that doesn't require to have leveled up a crafting job or anything like that: Stockpiling Materia. I know, this is claimed before nearly each patch to make some gil, but this time it is even more important as we're having 3 different sets of gear, where one of these sets, the crafted gear, will offer overmelding potential, that when being used completely will devour a large amount of materia. That literally can be 100 of the 20 stats materia per piece, so note to also check out prices and stock for the 20 stat materia, and not only for the big 60 ones. Therefore, our target is mainly critical and direct hit materia. But if you find them for cheap, spend some gil on determination and the speed melts as well, if you have a lot of gil to afford. In either way, try to not use your stellar or plenty clusters now, because they have the best value due to your freedom to go for the exact materia that may become way overpriced than all other materia. And this will definitely put a smile to your face with having kept tons of these clusters being ready for the big money. Above that, for all crafters out there with still a good stock of Neo Ishgardian gear or materials to craft them, there are actually 2 options how the market could establish itself to be, and how you can handle it. Number 1. Prices and crafting requirements of the new gear are so demanding that they become insanely overpriced, at least for the first weeks. In that case, as I experienced it on the last patch where Neo Ishgardian gear had been introduced, the previous crafted set didn't lose its value, due to the fact that people just needed to hit up certain gear breakpoints and item levels to unlock specific content, and to do that, going for a full set of 480 gear for around 1 mil is way more affordable than buying out a single piece of 510 gear for 1 to 2 mil per piece. I know, we are counting in people's poverty and desperation, but that's how the market goes, my friends. But of course, there's also the second alternative, that crafting the new sets is easy as hell, materials are cheap, and due to the fact that nearly each player has leveled up crafting jobs, the market may be overflowed with new crafted sets, and the price difference between them and Neo Ishgardian is next to nothing at all. That would be the best case where selling all of it now would definitely make sense. But all in all, try to find a good balance. If prices at the current state are not very profitable on your servers anyways, then maybe keeping materials or already crafted pieces until the patch hit does really make sense. But of course, if you're having a massive stock of materials like I have for example, draw your blacksmithing hammer, heat up the forge and ready your weaver needle to start crafting a bunch of items here. And whatever choice you make, these will always be relevant for glamour reasons, so don't worry, the Neo Ishgardian set will never lose its value completely. Unless Square decides to take up the same design for a newer and stronger set, of course. That mentioned, I still haven't upgraded onto the recent crafting gear, so if you plan to start crafting the new recipes, catch those pieces now, otherwise they will become way more expensive on the patch day, as most people will craft new sets and require this gear to do that, and next to nobody will focus on crafting the 490 crafter stuff. Above that, they are fairly known for having a really bad effort-reward relation, so mainly get them for reaching certain stat breakpoints, and remember, CP is always the most important stat to go for. And especially for those that haven't leveled up a crafter yet, maybe consider doing exactly this, because with Ishgard Restoration you can easily get from level 1 to level 80 in 3 to 4 hours. So use the last day of hopping right into the crafting game for the big coins in 5.4. As crafting is and always will be the big Gil-making department, where realistically nothing else can compete against. But of course, for those of you out there that don't care about crafting at all, I got your back. You can just simply stockpile the maximum amount of Tomestones, as those will become the new currency to receive the crafting ingredients required for crafting the new sets. And as far as my experience go, and according to the situation with the Edensverse tier in patch 5.2, hardcore raiders will always have their dedicated crafters to enhance their equipment by crafting these items for the whole day. And they do spend way more gil than would be reasonable under normal circumstances. So make use of their craziness and competitive spirit and directly spend your Tomestones. For the most upward crafting stuff, that should cost the same currency like those do for Phantasmagoria right now, but instead costing Allegri. A very important side note nonetheless, Phantasmagoria will be removed from the game, but chances are high that you can exchange them for a certain period in a 1-to-4 relation, so stockpiling 2000 of them will get you 500 Allegri at least. So if you really want to go all in for that crafting material business, stack some Phantasmagoria as well. And while stockpiling Phantasmagoria and Eladri will be beneficial for all players, checking out the stock of your yellow and white scripts here as well could make a real difference. But I'm not completely certain if they will add new crafter recipes or just expand the set of crafts inside of our Master Crafter level 8. Above that, chances are actually very high that we could again need this sublime solution to be part of crafting the new grade 4 strength, dex, wit, int and mind alkehests. So even if this is the bet into the blue, having spent some gil and then using it to craft Neo Ishgardian gear is better than running empty on those, when the prices ramp up like crazy. Okay, so much for the big deals. Like always, I will try to inform you as soon as possible what of these methods turns out to be the most profitable one on the patch day. But preparing all of, or at least some of them, will definitely fill up your gil account to pay for gearing for yourself, which will be insanely expensive in the first weeks. Anyways, what should you do when gil is not your biggest concern or just want to enjoy content in the best ways possible? And don't get trapped by not having completed certain requirements for the brand new dungeons, raids and MSQ. Of course, just doing exactly that. If you want to hop into the new Eden raid, do the quest line for the Eden's Verse stage. For instance, if you don't have a single clue who that black-haired girl is from the trailer or the teaser thumbnail, my guesses are high you haven't unlocked Eden, to that point that is required to continue. Yes, even story skippers should have seen her at least, as there is a cutscene with her you cannot skip. The MSQ, you will definitely know when missing something. Just check out your trust party and everything will be more than clear. And I'm not completely certain about the requirements to unlock Emerald Weapon, but just make sure to complete the whole quest line featuring the Shadow Hunter and you're perfectly fine. Also note that you don't have to complete all of this content in its extreme or savage version. Just do the normal story mode, and after completing the new 5.4 dungeons, raids and trials, their extreme or savage versions are only attached to the completion of the base questline fights. And that's mainly it from my point of view. If you guys have certain ideas and already generated that 600 million gil or something, I would love to have you share your ideas with our community, so that all of those lacking on the gil department may have a good chance to catch up. So stick around for the big gil info on patch day, as this will be my first investigation of the brand new content, as I'm more like the person enjoying content instead of rushing through it. But I'm very happy that there are people out there doing it, because without them we couldn't make those precious big coins. So go through this list maybe for a second time and check the boxes that you can, or you find promising. And above all of this, keep your hype for new content and make sure to enjoy it, because we will have to wait quite a while for the next patch. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will be able to make a good coin and have a wonderful start into the brand new content. So stick around on this channel, ring that notification bell or leave a sub to get informed about my newest uploads and info about 5.4. Have a wonderful Sunday and see you on Tuesday. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy and keep loving Final Fantasy.